The Ursa Rover is a 6-man APC for RSI, and it's basically designed for planet-side missions and going where you can't go with a flying vehicle, or if you need to get somewhere by the ground or just explore.
The Ursa was my first model that I made here at Foundry 42, so it was basically just trying to get a gist on sort of the workflow and how everything's made. So as a result of that, I went a bit crazy with the sort of POM tool. So the interior has quite a bit more sort of detailing than I really wanted to have.
The Ursa Rover is a 6-wheeled APC, and it's got very planar faces. It's very flat. It's not a lot of curved surfaces. It's got kind of like a 90s charm to it almost. Just trying to stick with the style of all the other RSI stuff that's currently out there.
Styling, we tried to keep it quite consistent with the sort of RSI style, but at that point in time it had been going through quite a lot of changes between the sort of Constellation and the Bengal and some of the larger ships. There's quite sort of distinct style changes, and with the Rover we didn't really have that kind of space to do angled walls or anything like that, because it was quite sort of quite constricted in terms of its size, because it had to fit in the Constellation cargo bay. Yeah, we sort of went more sort of the texturing side more than sort of modelling interesting pieces. So it's got like padded walls on the sides and stuff like that. Just sort of more interesting elements while keeping it super tiny and small, because it needed to fit in the Constellation cargo bay, which is a very small space for a vehicle.
Well, we worked very close with the concept artist. He gave us a lot to work with to begin with, but the large limitation was that it had to fit inside the Constellation, and it had a very low ceiling. So the idea is that it can sort of squat down into this compact mode for fitting under the ship. It's meant to be pretty hardy. It's very armor plated. There's no real bullets are going to go through it or anything. It should handle most things very well. For defense, it's got a manned turret that the co-pilot can use to attack anything that happens to be coming at them.
Yeah, so primarily the rover is going to be used for sort of like exploration. So if you get a rover with the Constellation Taurus, I believe, and that's primarily used for sort of exploration. So you know, if you find a new planet that no one's seen before, you can basically take your ship to the planet's surface and then sort of drive around and find any sort of interesting like mineral deposits or something else like that. And then you can call your mate that has a prospector or something like that, and then they can come in and, you know, sort of mine away and stuff like that. So it's quite nice for seeing a lot of the planet's surface while not going too fast. So you sort of have the ability to sort of slow down and see more of the sort of planet tech, which in itself is pretty impressive stuff.